for poor people. Okay, so I'm going to read some information. Now, where I first heard about this was recently, and I think it didn't happen recently. It might have happened last year. And they said that it was two podcasters who took to social media, and they were saying that only poor people use washcloths in the shower, and that they've actually ended friendships over this. And it says, I've ended friendships with people who actually use washcloths. So evidently these two people are actually, they say, are married. They also have a YouTube channel, and they have a pretty strong following. It said one of their most recent conversations had many people raising their eyebrows. So I guess some of this information might have also been on X about this as well. Okay, let's see what. Raising their eyebrows and calling out the people for being uneducated about the matter. So at first, I'm going to stop here. When I heard them say about they don't use washcloths, I thought maybe, you don't always have to use washcloths. Maybe they use loofahs. There's so many other things of different sponges. They're exfoliating gloves. You have ones that are not necessarily loofahs, but also they have a handle. I have a variety of them, a handheld poofy sponge thing, loofah, all types of things. And I also use washcloths, okay? I have many different washcloths. So anyway, I first heard about it on the Isaiah Factor, okay? Uncensored. And it was done some days ago, but I guess that this particular content was done last year. And I was so intrigued. And Isaiah had maybe 3 other people, okay? They were all African American. And 2 of them were younger. And then there was an older woman that probably looked around my age. And they all gave their own perspective on this. So I thought that's what they meant, but when they started to talk, they said that the people actually they didn't use a loofah or any other thing. They actually used their bare hand, and they just used soap or shower gel to clean their body. And that was interesting. I mean, it all comes down to preference, I guess. But then when they said something about only poor people use washcloths, then I was like, okay, pump the brakes here. Skirt, skirt. What are we talking about here? Why are we going there? Okay. So it went beyond I just prefer to use my bare hand. Okay. Just my bare hand. No washcloth, no loofah, no nothing. Just the 2 hands that God gave me. Okay. To wash my entire adult body. So if that's what gets it clean, gets it clean. But then I feel like it kind of hit a little bit below the belt when you start talking about some kind of stuff about poor people and washcloths. So why do they make washcloths, and why are there so many different towels? And they touched on that in the Isaiah Factor. Okay, so it says Tom and Christina were discussing showering habits and believed that using a washcloth in the shower was only a method used by, in all quotes, poor people. Okay, poor people. Oh, okay. Then it says here, how is it that every 8 weeks or so, Caucasian people get together and admit they don't wash their bodies and make us witness it? That's somebody else that wrote that on X. Please, y'all stop. I'm begging you. So there's somebody else, I guess, in response to what they posted on their podcast. This individual goes by Meech, medium-sized Meech. Now that I'm saying something about this before I go further with this, is I remember watching something with Miss Mary probably last year, not about these people, and she likes to look at stuff about celebrities from the past, present, and so forth and so on. And a lot of the celebrities that big names. In this particular video, they talked about all of the celebrities that don't brush their teeth, they don't take showers, they don't wash their hair. I was kind of like with my mouth open, because a lot of these celebrities, especially if they're actors and actresses, do all these steamy love scenes, and you mean to say they don't. I thought it was a joke. I couldn't accept it, to be honest, but I never forgot it. You mean you're not brushing your teeth? You mean you're not washing your hair? You're not washing your body? This can't be right. You're laying on top of people doing all these things, and a lot of them have numerous romances with people, very hot and steamy, and this is a person that doesn't wash their body, any crevice, they wash it every now and again. I find this so intriguing. So I guess when this happened and I was talking, I remembered that. And there are a lot of celebrities that don't seem to wash any part of their body. You're wondering, you're looking at them like, it puts things in perspective. But I looked at that and I just couldn't accept it. I said, this got to be wrong. This person's making this up, because there's no way. But then they had clips from actual interviews with the celebrities, and they were confirming about them not washing their hair. They wash it once a week. They brush their teeth a certain amount of days after. I'm like sitting there like, what did they just say? They don't use deodorant. They don't use this. They don't use that. They don't use soap. They don't. And I'm like, this is going past a washcloth. So I was like, So this is interesting. Okay, so let's jump back in. It says, I think the washcloth is a poor person thing. Okay, this is the female host. I've only met poors, okay, not poor people, poors with an S, plural, who use them. Okay, her husband agrees. The two then speculate if using a washcloth in the shower may actually be exclusively European tradition. So is it poors with an S, poor Europeans? I don't know. It says, I have European friends who use them as well, the wife says to her husband, and he replies, maybe they're poor. It seems like they're not really saying a whole lot other than the same thing in a different way about European poor washcloth. Okay, then the husband says very passionately about the matter that he claims to have ended relationships, or in this case friendships, with those who use washcloths in the shower. I don't want that stink on me, like that poor stink, he says. And then his wife suggests that people use washcloths to avoid touching their hands on their own private parts. Okay, then it goes on to say, how is it that this is what the guy said on X, aka that used to be Twitter, Meech, about this particular commentary. Okay, wait a minute. As a poor Caucasian person growing up, I considered washcloths to be a rich person thing, like nice cloths just for extra scrubbing. Fancy, one user revealed. Fancy, gotta love how this take is both racist and classist. Also, are loofahs for the poor too, or no? So they don't really say who's responding, but these are other people responding to this particular married couple and their podcast about the washcloth are disgusting and stinky and for poor people. Then another person said, I'm so confused. They are saying having something to wash your body with is for poor people or poor person thing, but using your bare hand is for the rich. I'll stay struggling. Thanks. Another user wrote. Then it says, another person said, I wash my body without a filthy bacteria covered rag. One user who is against washcloths shared. Okay, now I'm gonna stop here. This is something